Religious Studies 221, Good News of the Gospels, beginning week 6. We'll spend this entire week on the Gospel of Mark, and we'll wrap it up this week and begin Gospel of Matthew next week. But for now, being able to spend some time with the Cinderella Gospel, that's one of the first notes I gave you. The Cinderella Gospel, because it was undervalued in earlier years, and somehow it's risen and seen now as perhaps the most beautiful of the four. This is, of course, not an opinion shared by everybody. I love them all equally, so I could never pick, but I understand why many now love Mark, because Mark has a certain kind of unity and focus, and it moves so inexorably towards its finish in Jesus's full revelation, the fullness of his identity. And of course, as I suggested the last time, I believe identity is probably the primary theme of Mark. The unfolding of Jesus's identity, the insistence that we see Jesus for Jesus's true identity, and therefore curiosities in Mark like the messianic secret, which we really don't see anywhere else. There's an occasional moment in Matthew, an occasional moment in Luke, but it pervades Mark, this constant secrecy and these insistent reminders on Jesus' part that he wants those who've encountered him for healing, for exorcism, and in his works of wonder, not to reveal this to anybody. Very curious, because we would think it would be the opposite, right? He's wandering the Galilean plains, picking up followers and disciples. Why wouldn't he say, go tell everybody? Because it's about identity. And Jesus doesn't want his identity to be reduced to something that would be very popular, yes, in a world where healing is hard to find. If word got out that there was a healer, become overwhelmed with requests only for healing. And of course, Jesus is healer and Jesus is teacher in many things, but ultimately, Jesus wants to walk to the cross to reveal what he believes to be his ultimate identity, as the one who in some ways is going to redeem humankind through this act of self-giving and self-sacrifice, and so wants to always point and say, that's the identity I need you to see. I can't let you get stuck. So, Mark, about identity at its heart. And to get there, Mark is going to invite us to consider a host of other associated themes, and of course is going to use certain techniques to get us there, and that's what we want to take a look at. Let's jump right in and go ahead and look at a little bit of Mark, and as I suggested last time, these videos are incredible, but at the beginning of Mark's Gospels, we're going to see a lot of themes. A density of themes, that's a classic technique in ancient writing. We see it absolutely here. We watched it a little bit of the very beginning of Mark last time. But let's continue now and take a look at the rest of the first chapter of Mark. Again, you might wonder, we've only got 3 sessions and you spend a lot of time on chapters 1 and 2. That will be true in Luke and Matthew and John as well, because it is so focused and condensed and distilled in that opening chapter. Here we take a look at the rest of chapter 1, and you can see here on the screen I've got about 5 themes that are all concentrated and revealed and broken open just in this half chapter. Let's go